Hello.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Anyone home? Hello,
Hi.
hello. Welcome back to another episode. I believe it's the 5th episode of the PTZOptics podcast. I am your host, Lindsay Pope, and I am here with my friends, Tess and Paul. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Never better.
Never better?
Doing good. Thanks for having us.
Paul said it's going to be the best show ever.
It might be. I mean, we've been mostly Michael doing a lot of hard work.
Yeah, a lot of behind the scenes stuff is happening.
Yeah, so
Got a lot of new
More
stuff.
cameras than ever, too. More cameras means better show, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, we definitely have more cameras than ever. We've topped out at like 9 before. I think we've got like 15 or something.
Yeah, we've lost count. There's a lot here.
Yeah, we got new lighting. We got some sound panels.
That was key, too.
Yeah.
This room, if you've ever been in a studio with no sound panels, everything bounces off the walls. Sounds like you're talking like outdoors almost.
Yeah.
It does. It definitely sounds different. I'm
Yeah.
curious to listen back to the podcast and see if it sounds different there too.
Chat, does it sound different? If you're a seasoned viewer, I guess it's listener.
Yeah, listener.
Take out your headphones, plug them in,
Yeah.
take
Get
a
that
good listen.
the studio headphones, the Sony or whatever. Okay. So today's episode, what are we talking about?
Something very exciting, I hear.
Who's going to say it? Me?
You're going to say it.
Oh, okay. We are talking about the Move SE, which is now shipping. It's our newest camera, right? I guess it would be our newest
Brand
camera.
spanking new.
So yeah, I guess we'll just get right into it.
Yeah.
Cut to the chase.
Let's educate a little bit about this new camera.
All right. So first of all, what is the Move SE? If you are just listening, had no idea what we were talking about, what does this camera look like? Is it like the Studio Pro? That's just a little box cam? Or is it another pan tilt zoom cam?
It is a pan tilt zoom camera.
All right. Now, does it film in 4K like the Move 4K?
That's a great question. This camera, the Move SE, does not stream in 4K. It is a 1080p camera, so that's a big differentiator between the other model in our new line of cameras, the Move 4K.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I could say the Move SE stands for Standard Edition. And the thought behind that is that this is our standard edition. It doesn't have every bell and whistle that the Move 4K does, which is really our premium camera, or the Link 4K, which is kind of our higher end camera. But this does pack a punch. It has all of our award-winning technology and really all the connectors and options you would want from a PTZ camera with a really within reach price tag of less than $1,000.
Yeah, we're definitely making the camera more accessible to our customer base, and hopefully you'll be able to deploy more of them at that accessible price point. And we're really excited to bring this to market for you guys.
So for a multi-camera setup, can the Move SE be easily integrated and synchronized with other cameras and production equipment then?
That's a great question. Because, the Move SE, one of the easiest ways to get started with it would be actually just plug it in to your computer with USB. And we're going to show that today with Zoom. And Tess is going to plug in the USB cable and open a Zoom call. I'm going to join the far end of that Zoom call and actually remotely PTZ control the camera.
Ooh.
So we'll show a little cloud-based remote control. But you can also plug in this camera just to a simple network switch, and it's powered over Ethernet. So a single Ethernet cable will get you up and running with video, audio, and camera control. You can use the smartphone app. You can control it with our CMP software, which is totally free, our camera management platform software. You can stream directly to YouTube and Facebook with it over a single network connection. Now, if you are streaming to YouTube or Facebook, you're going to want to run audio into the camera as well with the 3.5 millimeter audio input. And it also features SDI and HDMI. So if you have professional video production equipment like a Blackmagic A10 Mini, an HDMI-based switcher, or you have a more professional SDI switcher, Not only does this camera support full frame rates, meaning 60 frames a second or 30 frames a second in the US, that's what we use, 30 frames a second, or 60 frames a second for fast sports. Or in Europe, they use 50 frames a second for fast sports and 25 frames a second. A little different in Europe.
A little different. Why
It
do we
will
always
work.
have to be different here?
And then it also supports the broadcast frame rates as well.
Nice. I'm looking at my questions here. Are there any questions in the chat, perchance? Any?
No, we're saying hello. I've asked everybody who's watching on the live stream where they're watching from. So please chime in and say hello if you're watching on the live stream. We'd love to know where you're from. So far, we've got Oklahoma City and Saskatchewan, Canada. I'm glad you said that first because I would have struggled with that.
It's always a fun one to say, Saskatchewan.
I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of saying it before.
Isn't it like a cap? I don't want to sound dumb.
Yeah, it might be something like that.
I don't know. I just always I knew of Saskatchewan for whatever reason. I don't know.
What's the zoom capabilities from Jaybird?
Ooh,
Oh, that's a good one.
12x, 20x,
You know this one,
30x.
Tess. Oh,
do.
you got it.
Boom.
Lindsay got that one.
Now,
Ding,
I
ding.
will add a little technical nuance here. So the 12x, 20x, and 30x are optical zoom. And we have an optical zoom calculator on our website, so you can use that to say, hey, how far is the subject you're zooming into? And you can say it's 50 feet away. And then you can see how wide the image will be. So like a 30x Move SE can zoom in up to 75 feet away from a subject and get a head and shoulder shot. Whereas the 12x can't zoom in quite as far, but it has a wider angle field of view when you're fully zoomed out.
I think we just calculated that just today. It's like 40 some feet away. You can get a head and shoulder for the 20x and then like 25 feet away for the 12x.
Yeah, which is perfect because if you're in a small conference room, small studio, even this studio, to be honest, is about 30 feet by 20. We've got 30Xs in here just for testing purposes because we like to zoom in all the way to a clock on the wall, for example, which
Right.
we've done. But it's not 100% necessary. So it depends on what you're doing, really.
Oh, we've got a lot of people chiming in. Franklinville, North Carolina, Appleton, Wisconsin, Melrose, Sweden, Bloomington, Indiana. I love seeing people from all over the world. That's
Wisconsin,
really fun.
Appleton. Ooh, does it have NDI?
This camera does not have NDI integrated directly on it, but you can upgrade to NDI for $99.
Yeah, and there's a really easy upgrade process. When you get the camera, plug it in. You'll see in the web interface under NDI, it will have a link to the store where you can purchase a license for $99, which is a third the price as it used to be. So this is really our affordable model, trying to make it as easy as possible for people to deploy these cameras. And once NDI is enabled, you can do NDI HX3 at up to 1080p at 60 frames a second.
That was going to be my next question. You already covered it.
Oh, sorry.
Wow. Let's see here. Wow, yeah, we got the NDI. Can you? I feel like we might have already gone over it. We might have just banged these out of the park.
It's all right. There's a lot to talk about with the camera.
Can you highlight some of the key technical features of the Move SE camera, such as resolution, frame rates, and zoom capability? Yeah, we already went over a lot of those. So
I think we did. Now, but regarding, resolution and optical zoom and things of that nature, one of the key things is the CMOS sensor in this camera is now from Sony. And so what we've noticed is, and we're using these throughout our entire studio now, has new generation cameras. We do have Move 4Ks in the studio. We've got the Move SEs, which you're seeing today, and we have our Studio Pro cameras here. They're all been moved over, and it was actually due to chip shortages at one point. But the Sony CMOS sensors look great in low light. They focus really quickly, and there's a noticeable difference and improvement with this third generation of PTZ cameras that we have. So yes, it might be one 1080p 60 camera to another one. From a spec perspective, they may seem the same, but the sensor is what really gives it that extra quality and sharpness that we'll see today.
And the Studio Pro has the same sensor, right?
It does.
I didn't know that one. Good for you.
She knows things.
She knows things.
Who would have thought? Not me. Have you seen that video? If you know, you know.
Josh Sinclair, thank you for joining us in the chat. Josh says, I love all the content. I've been learning a good bit ever since we incorporated the Move 4K into our church live stream. How does the Move SE image sensor compare to the Move 4K?
Well, the Move 4K image sensor is basically twice the size. Not necessarily twice the size, but twice the resolution. So
Okay.
4K. So 1080p cameras are technically at 60 frames a second or 2K, and the Move 4K cameras are 4K. So what does that mean? Well, the Move 4K cameras can, basically, especially in 1080p mode, can be used in twice the amount of zoom and still maintain the same resolution. So you can zoom in a much further. Also, from an auto tracking perspective, the onboard auto tracking processing has twice as many pixels to work with. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about today in our live presentation, is that the Move 4K 30X, for example, can track someone up to 300 feet away. But the Move SE 30X can only track someone, and I'd have to check my notes, but like 150. So like even less than half the amount because it has half the amount of pixels.
Right.
So it's a noticeable improvement in video quality, 4K, but it also can track further because it has more pixels to use for the tracking technology.
Wow.
We've got Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, Michigan in the house, Monrovia, California. Thank you guys
Aloha.
for joining us.
Aloha from Honolulu, Hawaii.
Wonderful. And if you're just joining in, we are in our pre-show podcast where we're going to tease a little bit of what we're chatting about today. Make sure you say hi in the chat so we know who you are and where you're watching from.
Oh, I wanted to mention that we are giving away a
I was
Move
about to
SE.
say,
Were you going to
yeah.
say that? Sorry.
Yeah,
Now you-
stole it right out of my mouth.
You have to be watching live, right?
Yep.
In order to claim the prize.
And you have to leave a review, right?
And I added to the giveaway. The giveaway link is in the description of the YouTube video.
Oh.
So I added that so it's easier for people to get to. So if you haven't entered to win, enter the giveaway. And then I added an extra way to enter, which is join the PTZOptics user group.
Oh,
So if you're
Yay.
already entered, there's another way to enter and get one. Because the way it works is you get like multiple entries, and then the more you have, the more likely you are to win. There's not that many people signed up, so you definitely have a good chance of winning, guys.
Shout out to Matt Davis in the chat,
hey,
our
yo.
Director of Technology and Information.
Oh, by the
Systems.
way, I don't know if everyone noticed this on YouTube Live, but there's these new little emojis over here. Maybe we could ask everybody to try it.
Yeah.
Which
Get some
emoji? The heart
engagement.
emoji?
The heart? Yeah.
There's a heart one there.
Any
I'm
of
going to
them,
push it. I
really.
just want to see what happens when everybody starts pushing these emojis.
Like,
Does it
do
show
we
up on the
see them?
screen? Oh, I'm seeing them come. I'm seeing the hearts. I'm seeing 100s.
Yay.
I'm seeing little
Thanks for
things.
sharing the love.
I don't
Nice.
see it. How am I supposed to see it?
I'll put some 100s out there. Are you seeing them?
Do I have to
Oh,
be?
I see it.
I might need to be under the PTZOptics.
I don't know. Is
No,
anyone
you
else
should be
seeing
able to
those?
see it.
Okay, well.
Is it just us?
Are
Is it
you-
you sending them or other people?
I'm definitely
There's latency,
clicking
so
away.
we won't see other people start to send it for 30 seconds.
Hi,
or so.
Dennis.
Hi, Dave. What do you guys want to know about the Move SE today? Let us know what we should cover.
I'll tell one thing that I'm excited to show today, which is I have the auto tracking working with the SuperJoy. So I can click a button on the SuperJoy and start the auto tracking with the Move SE.
Oh, that's exciting.
Other thing that I'll just throw out there that is new is we can start auto tracking from any position. So
That's
I know
new.
we're going to show that at some point. I think we're going to zoom into UTES, click start auto tracking, and it'll just start tracking you.
Yeah, that should be mentioned about the camera in general. This camera does have auto tracking, just like the Move 4K does. So you're still getting that awesome auto tracking feature that we're going to demonstrate today.
So,
And then there's another feature which I'm going to do I'm going to show as well is we'll have a preset on you, Lindsay. Okay. And it'll be preset 1. And then when we can change it so that when we hit auto tracking, it goes to preset 1. So the reason why we have that is because as a camera operator, you might want to just track the person that the camera's on, or you might want it to track the speaker at the podium or something, which is in a different location, So you can kind of preset all that up during your show.
I'm excited to see that first person because I haven't seen that yet. I'm used to it going to preset 0
Yeah.
when you start tracking.
So it'll be cool.
Can you auto track with the SuperJoy with the Move 4K then too?
Yes.
Oh.
So the Move 4K or the Move SE, they have what's called an HTTP command. And the SuperJoy consent has 4 custom buttons. And you can toggle them to do on off. So there's one command that we send to the camera to turn auto tracking on. There's another command that we send to turn it off. And those are right here in the SuperJoy. So one of the things I'm seeing and I'm hearing about is a lot of people like to control their cameras manually and follow the action. But then there's a lot going on. They've got other stuff to do. They just click auto track and then it just starts following the person that they want.
Nice.
Yeah. I know a lot of people wanted that. Whenever we were at, what was the trade show we just went to?
ISTE.
Yeah, a lot of people asked if the auto tracking worked with the SuperJoy, and it didn't yet. So now it does.
Thankful for
It
those
does.
custom buttons.
Now it does.
Beat the Streets Play says, wow, that's amazing. Can you do that with any of the older PTZs, or is it just an add-on only available for the SE? I assume you're talking about auto tracking. If you're not, please correct me. And you can auto track now with the older PTZOptics cameras, the G2 specifically, via our CMP, our camera management platform. You may need a firmware upgrade, which you can check in there. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
How are we doing on time? Oh, we still got
Yeah,
time.
and to answer Jeremy's question about the Simple Track Lite, the Simple Track Lite is an auto tracking camera with actually some different features. And we're going to do an auto tracking comparison bonanza video soon because the Simple Tracks are great auto tracking cameras and they have some more fine-tuned controls over zoom and composition.
Right.
So we're going to go over that in a couple weeks, I think.
Sorry, I was
Did I
looking
miss
for
the price for this camera? Starting around $999. We're really proud of the price point there to make these cameras accessible to our customers. Can you show auto tracking settings best optimized for tracking a pastor in a house of worship setting? Also, is the HDMI out a clean HDMI, or do you need the red and green bounding boxes?
The red and green bounding boxes can be hidden. So it is a clean HDMI. In fact, the Move SE does not have any bounding boxes. And I asked the engineers about that. The Move SE is a 1080p camera. It has less processing power as the Move 4K. So the Move 4K can actually do those bounding boxes or they can be turned off. And I think there's a misconception that the bounding boxes are always on. You can definitely turn those off.
So we're doing an auto tracking demo today, and it'll be my first time using auto tracking on the Move SE without the bounding boxes. I'm used to the Move 4K with the red and green boxes. So that'll be interesting.
Yes, it is very intuitive. We'll show this. Like, for example, Tess, when you're done auto tracking, just sit down where you're at, and I'll use the remote, and we'll just switch it to Lindsay. Because you can just use the remote control and just boop, switch it, but there's no boxes.
Right.
It makes sense because it'll move the person to the center. Whoever's in the center is the one that's locked into.
Okay.
What's going to be your go-to move? Are you gonna bust a move?
Bust a move.
Bust a move.
On the move. With the move.
With the Move SE?
With the Move SE. Yeah. I don't know.
A little Charlie Brown moonwalk?
I wish I had
Cotton Eye
moves
Joe?
like that.
Just do a spin move.
Spin move?
Yeah, we've done some ballet before.
Yeah.
Remember on the stage?
Yes.
When did you do ballet?
Long time ago. When we were demonstrating.
was this?
That was when we were actually demonstrating how far away you could be from the camera and still get certain shots, whether it was head and shoulder or full body.
I thought you were talking about Ghostbuster.
Oh no, those were
Times.
fun times too.
Oh, Ghostbusters.
We've got some good memories on this show.
Is anyone who is in the chat remember have they been around? I was not
Long enough
around.
to see. Yeah, if you go back in the old live streams that we've done, you can see some pretty funny stuff and some pretty crazy antics.
Comment down below if you think we should start back up with the antics.
Maybe we should.
We've been a little. I feel like we've been a little too safe around here.
Too safe?
I've heard that too. Someone called me a stick in the mud. Yeah.
We need to bring in ping pong again, or what's the game?
Yeah, the game.
I forget what the game
Rock'em
is called.
Sock'em.
Rock'em Sock'em.
That's a fun one. We were doing instant replay.
We literally were close to boxing one day.
Real boxing.
Kickboxing. each
One
other.
time we had a fog machine
Oh,
for
yes.
the NDI release. We had one of the very first NDI cameras of all time, and we did a release with fog machines.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We put off the fire alarm.
The fire department
and we had to
showed up that
cancel the whole live stream,
Yeah.
and the fire department was outside.
Well, there was that one stream that Tess was streaming alone. It was her first live stream alone, right?
day. Uh-huh.
Where like
Oh yeah.
sparks shot off.
Yep,
Yeah.
Matt's commenting, like setting
like her-
monitors on
Well,
fire.
that was her second or third live stream
Yeah.
alone. The first live stream alone, Tom Sinclair had a completely working like two-way video and audio connection with Tess.
Yep.
But then as soon as they went live, he pretended like this. He was like,
Oh, that's
and made
so
Tess freak out,
mean.
even though
I
it was working.
panicked.
Oh my god!
But I'll never forget it. It was an amazing moment.
Aw.
Okay, we've got a couple more questions in here.
Yes, we need
Jeremy's
more
looking forward
antics.
to the traction comparison video. John Cook wants to know, can we turn off the auto tracking from the iOS iPad app? That one I don't know.
It is possible if the developer integrates it. So I'm going to create a little list of questions, and because there's going to be, I have a feature request here, so I'm going to put that down. All right, iOS app feature request. Because guys, fire away the feature requests. We're going to write these down. Ability.
That's pretty much how we build all of our
auto
products. Our
tracking
engineers
on and off.
take
All right.
requests and information from our audience, and voila, you have a Dante
Bring
AVH
'em in.
camera or a 1080p tracking camera with all outputs on a single unit.
Ryan's asking how to set up the pan tilt limits on the Move 4K. Yeah, we can show that in the Q&A section. Let's write that down.
Isn't our little like lingo designed by you for you? Nothing.
We have used that before. Serve first, sell second, but designed for you by you. That was part of the Move SE release in the teaser.
There you go.
Ryan would love to see gesture control used to lock onto a participant and instructor rather than a remote control. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I could see that. Doesn't quite exist today. It actually could potentially be done via vMix.
Really?
I saw on their live stream last night they were showing gesture control and making things happen.
Somebody around here has made it happen somehow.
Yeah, we don't. It's not a feature that's built into the cameras. Put it that
No,
way.
definitely not.
Just to be
but
clear.
in the mad scientist factory here, somebody might have accomplished that. at some point.
If you have accomplished that, drop it in the PTZOptics Facebook user group so others can see how you did it.
Jaybird remembers the Tom Sinclair joke.
Oh my
Wow, so you've been around for a long time. Kudos to you. Is the Move SE Dante AV? No, it is not. Our upcoming Link 4K camera, which should be out in about a month or so, that has Dante AVH.
Yes, and we will be doing, that'll be our next live stream. Will be all about Dante and the Link 4K. Right, Tess?
Yep. Next show at the end of August 31st, I believe. We'll be doing it on the Link 4K. And shipping a new camera, hopefully.
We are just cranking out products.
We are.
We got
really
a product
are.
for everyone. We got Move 4K for big broadcasters, and now we have the Move SE for everyday content. I don't know.
Basically, we're looking at it as a camera that people are able to purchase multiple of.
True.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. Yeah, it was something I wanted to talk about. Is that you look at the Move 4K, it can track longer distances. It will look better, and if you've got a 4K setup, it's probably the way to go. But when you look at the Move SE at $999, it's almost like, hey, I can get two of these for the price of a 4K. Would I rather have two unique shots or one 4K? So that's the question I think a lot of people ask themselves, as Tess said. And I think a lot of our customers, sometimes even if they've already got multiple cameras, and they're like, well, I just want to add one more for the backstage of the drummer or the piano player from above or whatever the different things are. And so now this is like an easy way to just add one more. It's powered over Ethernet, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Can you update the firmware via the CMP?
I think so.
You can.
Yeah.
CMP. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to open up the CMP because I have a feeling we're going to get questions on it. I've got it here. I'm not going to do a screen capture now, but can you update the firmware? Let me check. Ooh.
I'm going to assume so.
I really thought you could.
I think so too. I'm just going to double check. You go into it, click into it, go to the dashboard, and it says the camera's firmware can be updated directly through the web UI here, and gives you a link.
Okay, so it links to the web UI where you can.
I think it lets you know if it needs a firmware update, but still
lets you know if you have the most up-to-date firmware.
Yeah, but you still have to do it. You still do it through the web UI.
Got it.
At least that's what I'm seeing here.
Well, we only have a few more minutes left, and I wanted to tell a joke that I asked ChatGPT to help me with.
Okay, let's see how funny ChatGPT is today.
Okay. Well, also, don't. This is not me. I did not make this up. So this is
we
ChatGPT.
can blame AI.
Okay. How many audio engineers does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
None. They just sit in the dark and complain about the lighting.
I could see that because audio is their job, their responsibility. Lighting is somebody else's.
Ha.
That actually is a little bit funny. That's actually pretty good.
That's not bad.
That was the best one on the list. They gave me a whole list, and it was pretty rough.
I'm interested to see what the chat has to say about that.
Did we get
Hey,
a
Chad.
chuckle? Any chuckles out there? Little ha-ha?
Chip
Hi,
size
Chad.
of the Move SE. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to look that
The
up.
size of the chip of the Move SE is 1 over
You know it off the top of your head?
2.8 inches.
I'm impressed.
I
officially.
could be wrong, but that is what I
I'm
remember.
going to the tech specs.
Let's take a look.
1 over 2.8 inches.
Dang!
You got it, Paul.
Oh my!
Josh
done.
said, hashtag preach.
Oh, Rodney said, haha. Okay, there we go. There's a laugh. Woo.
Ha ha
The monitors provide plenty of light, says Matt.
ha. I'll give a ha-ha. Thanks, guys.
Ralph is new to researching this camera. Thank you for including our camera in your research. What are the various connectivity options for this camera? Does it support HDMI, SDI, USB, and IP streaming? It does support all of the above. What is the minimal suggested system setup I need to purchase, and how complex is that process? That one's more for Paul.
Yeah, with the Move SE, the minimum is a computer with USB. Quite honestly, because you can just plug it directly into your computer with USB. And you can use OBS, which is a free software that we're going to show today, actually, in the show. Somewhere in the middle there, we're going to show how easy it is to connect this camera to OBS, control it, stream with it, record it, all with OBS. But Tess is also going to show it connected via USB to Zoom. So we'll show how easy that is. But then we're going to show some of the more complicated ways, which is over NDI, over Ethernet, SDI, and HDMI. They're more complicated, but they actually provide more flexibility on larger scales. So we'll look at all of that today in this webinar.
I think it's about time to wrap up the podcast.
12 requests since the start of this podcast.
Yay!
Nice. In the user group.
Yeah.
Lindsay, you're going to have a big conversation in there.
Yeah, make sure you are answering the questions because you
No, Lindsay might
be
not
allowed
let you in to the Facebook user group if you don't.
Right. And in 4, 3, 2, 1. See you soon.
Thanks for listening. Hello, everybody out there watching. I'm Tess Protesto, and you have arrived at the PTZOptics live show, where we are live the last Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Today is a very special show because we're announcing the release of our brand new camera, the Move SE. Today, we're going to cover all things about this camera, everything you need to know, and do a live demo. All this and more coming up next.
Woo!
Oh,
Now that was a beginning.
That was a way to kick off the show.
nice. Congratulations to our producer, Mike, who has been working so hard to get the studio. I hope you guys are going to notice the difference. He's been working really hard. Today, we're looking at the Move SE. This is our standard edition, third generation PTZOptics camera built on all of our award-winning technology. Our engineers have been working years on this. They have built-in auto tracking. They have built-in USB, HDMI, SDI, IP control. They made it NDI upgradable. They have listened to you all in the chat We've listened to so many of the feature requests, and so many of them have been built in. Whether you've discussed something with our support team or directly with our engineers, of course it has our 5-year warranty. We're going to show it with our SuperJoy controller. We're going to show it with our smartphone app. We're going to show it working with OBS today, the world's most popular free live streaming software. We'll show it with Zoom. We'll show it with vMix. I'm really excited. Let's get started, guys.
That's right. Just some quick housekeeping before we dive into things today. Thank you so much for being here. Please say hi in the chat. We want to know who you are, where you're watching from, and what you want to know about today with the Move SE. So make sure you're saying hi in the chat. And we're so excited to hang out with you today. We are live the last Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Make sure you like and subscribe so we can continue bringing you this content monthly. And again, make sure you say hi in the chat. Say hi to our little kitty friend there. We're live, so we want to be interacting with you. The Move SE is now shipping. So the product that we're talking about today that we're going to be covering in detail is now shipping. So you can place your orders at your preferred sales outlet or reach out to partners at PTZOptics.com to get in touch with one. Upcoming trade shows. Trade show season is upon us. We've got the Build Show in New York celebrating B&H 50th or 100th anniversary?
50th anniversary.
50th anniversary.
In New York.
And we have NAB New York as well. And then we have IBC in Amsterdam. So if you're headed to any of those shows, make sure you stop by our booth. We will be there, and you can demo these cameras in person there. Finally, we are giving away a Move SE today, guys. That is huge news. We're giving away one of these cameras to one lucky winner. So if you want to enter to the giveaway, we're going to pop up a little QR code on the screen that you can take a picture of and go to the website to enter to win, or you can go to the description of the YouTube video to enter. We will announce the winner at the end of the show today. Over to you, Lindsay Pope.
Ooh. We will be doing Share Your Vision. Nice little zoom there. Alrighty, so I just wanted to give a big shout out to everyone who has been sharing their Studio Pros. We are loving the excitement and can't wait to see your visions come to life. If you are using our cameras, make sure to tag us, snap a picture, use the hashtag Share Your Vision, and we would be more than happy to see it. And then I will use this as an opportunity again to mention, if you are loving your PTZOptics products, make sure to leave a Google review, and then that way you can also enter to win the Move SE today.
Wow, that's a lot of Studio Pros out there in the wild already.
Yeah.
Recently released camera. Glad to see it.
Very excited.
All right. We have a lot to go over today, so we're going to jump right into it. One of the first things we wanted to discuss was the difference between the Move SE and the Move 4K. So I've got a little presentation to go side by side. We have the Move SE, which is our standard edition, the Move 4K, which is the 4K edition, and then we also have a Link 4K, which is going to be shipping in August, which is our Dante over IP version. So we're going to go over all three of those in a quick presentation. One of the great things about the Move SE family and the Move 4K family is that we have added all the features from our old cameras and really consolidated them down into a single lineup. So now, you can get started at a really affordable price of just $9.99 for our SEs, or make the choice to go up to the really highly professional Move 4K version. So we've got a lot of options, but in essence, these cameras are very similar, with the main difference being 2K, and 2K stands for 1080p, 1920 by 1080p at 60 frames a second, or 4K. Both of them have the built-in auto tracking. Now, if you have one of our Gen 2 cameras, you can actually add auto tracking to your camera using the PTZOptics CMP software, which we will take a look at, and it is a really great software for finding all the cameras on your network and adding them, and literally adding auto tracking, even if it is a Gen 2 camera. So very excited to answer questions and show that off if necessary. But essentially, these cameras have HDMI, they have USB, they have SDI, and then the Move SE is NDI upgradable. So for just $99, if you decide you want the flexibility of NDI IP video on your network, it's there for you. You just have to do a simple upgrade for $99. The Move 4K has the NDI built in. So it's kind of assuming you're in that professional landscape already. And then we have the Link 4K here, which is really very similar in price in the features here, but it includes Dante AVH. The other major difference or minor difference, depending on how you look at it, the Move SE does not have a tally light. The Move 4K does. The Move SE and the Move 4K are currently shipping. They are in stock with our distribution partners and ready to go. The Link 4K is just a couple weeks out. Now, I wanted to look at this diagram to show just how fully functional the Move SE and the Move 4K really are. You could use the SDI output, which is really good for long, reliable cable runs where you can run 100 plus feet with reliable locking connectors that SDI features. And in this scenario, we're showing it used with an SDI to USB converter. We all know that USB is sometimes difficult to run long distances, and it requires USB extenders, and sometimes it's unreliable. So we highly recommend SDI for a very reliable video extension capable. We have HDMI here, which doesn't really go more than 50 feet, but is very affordable for HDMI video switchers and HDMI extenders and HDMI matrix switchers. So HDMI, very popular. We're showing it with a Blackmagic ATEM Mini. We're also showing an audio source coming in, a 3.5 millimeter audio source coming into the camera, which will be embedded onto the video coming out. So if you want to send video and audio together to YouTube or Facebook, this camera can do it.
Which
And we've
outputs
actually,
do they come out of?
it should embed into USB, HDMI, and the RTMP streams and NDI, but I believe it may be working with SDI as well, and I just would have to double check the knowledge base on that one. We also are showing it connected to a SuperJoy, and the PTZOptics SuperJoy can control a Move SE with serial connection, an RS-232 connection, or it can control it over the network. This is a power over Ethernet connected camera, so there's just so many ways to use this. We're showing NDI connectivity, going right into something like vMix or wirecast or OBS. We're also showing USB connectivity, which we're going to show in a moment here with Zoom. That's going to be a really cool demo. And then, of course, RTMP and SRT. So look at all those options. Even if you just need one of these, this camera will be able to expand. And I've seen this happen so many times with our customers. They think they just want HDMI, but then they realize, I'd like to add another monitor, a confidence monitor over here, or I'd like to be able to do this or that. This is a camera with a 5-year warranty where we will replace it if anything goes wrong in 5 years. We'll support it for the whole lifetime of the camera, and you're going to be able to grow. So if you're just getting started, the Move SE Standard Edition is really one of the best places to get started with pan-tilt zoom cameras with a company that's really going to support it. Now, the auto tracking is something we're going to demo in a moment. The big difference between the Move SE and the Move 4K is that the Move 4K has twice as many pixels, right? One's 2K, one's 4K. Because it has twice as many pixels, it can track further away. So the Move SE can track, the 12X can track 60 feet away, the 20X can do 100 feet away, and the 30X can do 120 feet away. But you'll notice that the Move 4K can go up to 300 feet. So there is, some pretty significant differences between the Move 4K. And as you'll see, there will be times with auto tracking and some of the more advanced features that the Move SE can't do some of the more advanced things. And we'll probably take a look at some of them today if we have time. But the Move SE is here. We're going to go over it in detail. And I'm really excited because the next moment here is actually unboxing the Move SE with Tess. So that's going to be fun. Let's do it.
Let's do our unboxing time. Woo! This is the Move SE in the box, in the flesh. This is what you're going to get when you order the camera to your door. We are shipping these out with sustainable materials now, so it's really important that you recycle them. We want to make sure that we're helping the environment with our packaging for sure. So let's open it up. What's inside? What's inside?
What's in the box?
A box in a box.
Tell us what's in the box, Tess.
What's in the box? You're going to see the quick start guide and something really cool, a little freebie for you. Each PTZOptics camera includes a free 6-month subscription to Titler Live 5 Present, $149 value, where you can do cool titles, effects, and the like with your PTZOptics camera in your production. The box is going to include your remote control. We make sure that we send out each of our cameras with a remote control included, and 2 AAA batteries, excuse me. You're also going to find in here your power connections. So if you're international, we do have options, different options for alternative power supplies that are not the ones that you find in America. You're also going to find a USB cable. So this is the USB cable that you'll plug into the back of the camera, which we'll show you in just a moment here. The camera can be used just like a webcam in that way, where you can plug your USB cable right into the camera. And this is an RS-232 cable for control if you want to plug the camera into a serial joystick controller like the HDJoy that we do have. Under here, you'll find the actual camera itself. Here she is in all her glory. All of our cameras are female. If you're wondering, it comes with a lens cap for protection of the lens itself, as well as privacy if you ever needed to cap the lens. And on the back of the camera, you'll see all of the output options, IP, NDI upgradable if you should choose to do so. We've got HDMI, 3G SDI, and USB Type-C, and you'll see the serial in and out over here. We also have a Kensington lock if you needed to lock your camera up against the wall. That's also a new feature here. And you have your standard power, and you have line in and line out of the camera. And that is pretty much everything that we have here. Something else that's cool is not only do we have an IR receiver on the front of the camera, we also have an IR receiver on the back of the camera. That's new with the Move SE as well, and the Move 4K. So there you have it. There is the unboxing of the Move SE.
Yay. Good job, Tess.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I think Lindsay was going to mention some of the awards that the Move SE has picked up over the past couple shows, right?
Yeah. It just won. Wow, you really put me on the spot there. Okay. Yeah, this camera just won Best in Show at Infocom from Sound and Video Contractor. There we go.
Nice. You're getting it.
Yeah. I don't know of any others.
That's the one that it won so far.
Yeah, okay.
Well, actually, it did win an award at NAB as well. It won Video Maker Best Camera.
Oh, wow. And
Best
Video Maker Best Camera,
So
yeah.
we've got 2 awards going for the camera so far. Not too shabby. Let me turn off this mic.
Make sure
All
there's no
right.
echo.
So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show how easy it is to connect the Move SE to OBS. And I've actually already got it connected, and I'm going to kind of work backwards from here to show how I got here. But I've got the Move SE connected to OBS here over NDI. I also have, by the way, a PTZ controller built in to the OBS interface for this camera. But I'm going to take a step back and show how I got all this set up so that you guys can see just how easy it is to control your Move SE camera from OBS. So I'm going to start completely fresh here. Get rid of this. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the plus button, and I have the NDI plugin installed on OBS. Now, you can also connect to this camera via HDMI, maybe like a Blackmagic A10 Mini. You can connect to it via SDI. There's a lot of ways to connect it to OBS, but one of the easiest is to connect over NDI. And I'm going to go ahead and call this my Move SE NDI source there, and I'm going to click OK. And in this layout here, what it does is this is when you have the NDI plugin installed, you can choose between any of the NDI sources that are available on your network. It's going to automatically find them all. And the camera that I'm going to connect to is going to be this one here, the Move SE 30X. And I have the bandwidth set to highest, so that's the highest quality. It's option. We can allow hardware acceleration, so we do have a nice capture card or not capture card, we have a nice graphics card in this computer. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK here. And that is going to bring the video in over NDI. So we've brought the video in. Now, how did I get these beautiful camera controllers on the side here? Well, one of the things that you can do is you can go to docks at the top of OBS and you can add custom browser docks. And PTZOptics has free custom browser docks that you can download. And I've already downloaded them on my computer. And you can get them off of our website. They're actually HTML files that when you open them, this is what they look like. And you can actually take the HTML URL of that file and add it in as a dock into OBS. So I have a small controller and I have a large controller. And so my small controller's down here. So I've just got a very simple PTZ controller that allows me to zoom in and out, control it. And then I also have over here, I have a larger setup here where I can set and, like, for example, let me set a preset here. I can set a preset, call one preset, call another preset. Hey. And so that is how the OBS controller works here. In preferences, you can go into here and do all kinds of stuff like flipping the image, but this is where you put the IP address of your camera. So you probably should set a static IP address for your camera. Once you set that up, you can load it in here. Now you've got, very simply, you have over Ethernet, over the network, right? You have a PTZ camera in your OBS software. You've got your pan, tilt, zoom controls. And you can even do, I'll just throw one extra thing here. You can create a scene. Let's call this scene 2. And you can actually bring in a PTZ preset with, so if I add this existing one here, you can actually add a PTZ preset into the scene. If I add it as a browser source here, you can actually put the HTTP command for calling a preset on your PTZOptics camera. And whenever you switch to that scene, it will actually call that PTZ preset. So you could have a scene for the piano, a scene for this, a scene for that, and you don't even need to call the presets over here. I've seen a lot of our customers do that, especially in houses of worship. But that concludes how to connect the Move SE to OBS.
Wonderful.
Next, we're going to show how easy it is to connect it to vMix. And then we're going to show how easy it is to connect it to Zoom. So let's show how easy it is to connect a PTZOptics Move SE to vMix. So I've got vMix here, totally blank vMix. And I'm going to click Add Input. And again, I'm going to select NDI here as just a very easy way to connect to the Move SE. It will automatically show all of the NDI video sources on my network. And again, I'm going to choose that same one here. Actually, I could choose any of these, to be honest. Maybe I'll choose a different one. Maybe I'll choose...
Not one of Michael's.
Yeah, he might not like that. Let me just choose the one on my desk.
Okay.
Boom. So this is the NDI camera. Oh, got to zoom it out here. Okay. That's the NDI camera on my desk. And if you double click that camera in vMix, by the way, I like this sharpen option in vMix. If you guys have never used it, it's pretty good. In the PTZ tab, you can use the drop down for PTZOptics Visca control. And now we can start zooming the camera with vMix. Now what I'll do, just to show how this works, is Tess will give you a preset. So we'll create a preset at this position, and then Lindsay will give you a preset. And you see I'm clicking this create input at this position. By the way, I like to do just a little bit of black stretch on my video. Look at that.
Whoa.
Boom. Now, when I click these inputs, they go directly to the place that we stored that PTZ preset. So just to give you an idea of how it works, this is how you can add a Move SE camera. Now, to get PTZ control in vMix, you do need to think about having the vMix 4K option or greater. The standard editions of vMix do not
doesn't have that
include
option.
PTZ control. So I know a lot of customers who don't get PTZ control with vMix, and so what they do is they will use the PTZOptics app, for example, because it costs an extra $350 maybe or more to get the vMix control. Now, two other things I'll show quickly in this area is you can set up speeds for your positions. So the first speed is for pan tilt, manual pan, tilt, and zoom. And vMix has a great way of actually mapping the pan, tilt, zoom controls to like an Xbox controller or an X keys device. So they have a lot of different options for that. You have the ability to zoom in really slow or really fast. You have the ability to change the focus. So we could do a focus pull and change the focus here. When we unclick that, autofocus will be enabled. And the other thing we have here is something that I want to show is we can turn the position speed down to 0. And what that will do is it will have really slow movements in between the PTZ positions there.
John brought up a really good point that you are showing how to connect using NDI. Could you show how to connect, I guess, without NDI?
Yeah, that's our next thing.
Oh, okay.
So I think we've pretty much covered this this vMix area of the PTZ control, the options. I will also say that there's a tally button here. That will not do anything for the Move SE because it doesn't have a tally, but the Move 4K does, and that's what that button does. So I think that allows us to go to our next demo, which is going to be using the USB connector here, and I'm going to give this to Tess, and Tess is going to plug this into her computer. Here you go, Tess.
I'll take that. Thank you, Paul.
Can I ask an off-topic question to the chat about Twitch and vMix? Has anyone been able to stream to Twitch through vMix? Because I tried and I couldn't. And so now I'm just curious. I have to know. Anyways, continue with the show.
It's a good question because I tried to help you too, and
Yeah,
we
we
struggled.
Yeah, we couldn't figure it out.
Struggled, we did.
Yeah. So
Okay. So Tess has sent me a Zoom link. And we're going to show just how easy it is to connect. So this is Zoom here. And Tess has connected the Move SE that is right here in front of me. I have joystick control over it.
Via USB.
She's connected it via USB.
There's the USB cord.
I can see the USB cable. It's plugged into your laptop. Now that is a USB 3.0 cable because it's USB-C.
Yes.
Look at that. Doo, doo, doo. All right, so that's the USB cable. So we're showing the USB connection here. Now, one of the really cool things about Zoom, and a lot of people don't know this, is I can right-click Tess's video. And I'm going to make this bigger so it's easier to see here. I can right-click it, and I can hit Request Camera Control. And when Tess approves that, what happens is a pan tilt zoom controller comes up in the bottom right-hand corner here. So if I zoom into this, you'll see it a little better. And now I can actually pan tilt and zoom the camera that could be anywhere in the world. So this is through Zoom. So literally, let me zoom out here so you can see this now a little better. I could be on the other side of the world and Tess could have a Move SE and I could look around the room and see what's going on. So I have full control of the pan, tilt, zoom here. And look at how responsive it is. Zoom has done a great job of this. We've been working with Zoom quite a bit to add this. So if you use Zoom with a PTZOptics Move SE, you can now zoom it in, pan, tilt, and zoom it remotely. So I wanted to show how easy it is to use the PTZOptics Move SE with Zoom. I also have this connected to a joystick controller as well, but Zoom is providing that magic opportunity for remote pan, tilt, zoom control, even if it is on the other side of the world.
That's pretty cool stuff. And that's a perfect segue with the joystick, Paul.
It is. So now that I'm using this joystick, let's jump into it. Thanks for that, Tess. Good job. All right, so I'm going to jump into the SuperJoy here, and we're going to talk about how to control the PTZOptics Move SE with one of our joystick controllers. Then we'll take a look at the smartphone controller as well. But for now, and of course, we're going to open up Q&A in a minute, but we've got a pretty aggressive schedule of demos here. So let's jump into this SuperJoy. The SuperJoy is really our most popular PTZ joystick controller. And one of the things I love about this joystick, besides the fact that, yes, it has pan, tilt, zoom control, it has really good controls for speeds. So you can really dial in your pan, your tilt, your zoom speeds, the focus speeds, the preset speeds. You've got all of your controls for white balance and exposure and all these things, locking and unlocking focus. It really is a professional joystick controller. Right here's where we can switch between the cameras. But one of the things I really like is the custom buttons here. And we've got 4 custom buttons. And today I'm going to show these custom buttons turning off and on auto tracking for the Move SE. So that way you can seamlessly move between, all right, I'm tracking a person, I'm manually controlling the camera, to, boom, now I want to turn on auto tracking. So we're going to look at the auto tracking in a moment, but let's start with the PTZOptics Studio Pro here. Now, I have it connected to camera 1, which has an IP address of, this is 192.168.21.58. And you can see that I'm controlling the camera at a certain speed here. If I want to pan a little faster, I can go nice and fast. I can go nice and slow. We've got all the options here for doing that, zooming in, zooming out. The thing that really makes this look great, though, is the auto tracking. So these custom buttons are configured in the web interface for the SuperJoy. So if I click custom button 1, I have set it up so that it will trigger the auto tracking for this PTZOptics Move 4K. And there it goes. Now it's auto tracking. It looks like it just locked in on Lindsay, actually. Oh. And it's auto tracking you. So I mean, I guess just move around a little just to show that it's working. And even just a little left and right just to see. Okay, because I don't think that's the camera that it's.
Oh, wait. That's not the camera.
That's not the camera. That's why that's your other camera. But anyway, it is following you. It is tracking you. And it's okay, Mike. I'm going to turn the tracking off because really the demo is to show how the tracking turns on and off here. I don't know if I showed that, but basically, boom. Now tracking is off. Now I can manually control the camera. So that's how it works. If we show the web interface really quickly, I'll show just how easy it is to make that happen. In the web interface here, the first tab that you see is Devices. And the Device tab is where you can easily set up each of your groups for your groups of cameras. The search area is where you can actually just search for all the cameras on your network, and you can search for any NDI camera. You can see we've got quite a few, or just PTZOptics cameras, because this will work with pretty much any PTZ camera. We've got a quick little controller here, which you can get the URL for and send to like a smartphone for a nice little control. We've got an awesome matrix mode, which allows you to control 3 presets for up to 3 cameras. Again, very easily from like a smartphone or tablet. And then over here are the custom buttons. And what we've done, if you've got the latest firmware for your SuperJoy, is we have a toggle button. So the first time you press the button, I have this command set up. And there's a blog post about this on our website. It's in our documentation. Basically, this is the command that you send to the camera to turn on auto tracking, and then this is the command to turn off auto tracking. We hit save, and now that custom button 1 on the joystick, when first pressed, will enable auto tracking. When second pressed, will turn off auto tracking. So that is a demonstration of how to use the PTZOptics Move SE with the PTZOptics Studio Pro. Very similar to our other joystick controllers, except the SuperJoy features the ability to turn off and on that auto tracking. Now that we've done that, our next step is to show the smartphone controller. So I'm going to go ahead and take my smartphone out. I'm going to go ahead and connect to this camera and show how easy it is to control the PTZOptics Move SE with a smartphone.
And this is over IP.
This is over IP here. So this is basically showing how we are controlling the camera. And this is our free iOS app here. Let me go ahead and connect to it over right here. And Mike, if you show that side-by-side shot, you'll see the camera moving as well. So the camera is moving and responding to this controller here. There we go. And so this is your wireless controller. So this is a totally free app from PTZOptics. It gives you a live video preview. It gives you the pan, tilt, and zoom. You can call presets. You can add multiple cameras to this setup. It's really nice. And if you have an iOS app, I would highly recommend giving it a try and seeing if it works for you, because it's a really nice PTZ joystick controller. So just wanted to show those two options with the Move SE. You can obviously control it with a joystick controller. We showed it being controlled with vMix. We showed it being controlled with OBS. We showed it being controlled with Zoom. We've showed it with a smartphone app. We've done everything except like the Stream Deck, which we're not going to do today. We've shown enough today. I mean, it's a very versatile camera, can be remotely controlled in a variety of ways. And that was just one that we really wanted to show. And now we wanted to look at the back of the camera. Sorry,
I was going to say, maybe if a lot of people wanted to see it with the Stream Deck,
then
maybe we might make a video.
Yes.
But we are very busy. No promises. But if you want to see it, if there's like 1,000 comments, then maybe we'll do it.
1,000 comments is what you're asking for?
1,000 comments.
Wow. All right.
1,000 likes on this video, and we'll make a video for our Stream Deck.
So we were going to look at the back of the camera from where Tess left off on her opening of the box to take a peek at some of the other features that are actually on this camera that we haven't talked about, like the Kensington lock, the IR remote receiver that's on the back now, allowing you to control it better from the back or the front. And a couple other things. I don't know if we still have a good shot of the back of this camera from the opening of the box area.
Face it outward, but there's some stuff around it, like box components that I don't know.
How are we
very
doing,
sexy
Mike?
shot there.
Do we have a good shot of the back of the Studio Pro? And then once we show the back of the Studio Pro, the last thing we have here is to show the web UI, and then we're doing the giveaway, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, we got to do an auto tracking demo.
We do have to do an auto tracking.
We have to show the auto tracking. All right, so I have this
needs a bus
feeling
move.
that Mike doesn't have a good shot of the back of the camera, or else he would have cut to it by now.
I think so too. That's fair.
Okay.
I feel
Fair
like
to
there's
say.
something happening
Yeah, I
beyond
think-
that wall that we can't see.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so I think what he's saying is, hey, let's do the auto tracking demo. All right. We get your nonverbal cues, Mike. Okay. So
Nonverbal communication.
we have a Move SE camera in the studio, and I'm going to control it, believe it or not. It is the, which camera are we talking about here? We're talking about IP address 56, which is our Move 30X wall. I'm going to bring up the OSD menu here. I'm going to just do a quick left-right pan to make sure I got it. Okay, yes. This is a Move SE camera right here. Coming in over NDI because we have upgraded it. And what would be nice, Mike, is to show the web interface quickly to show how I am turning off and on auto tracking. Okay, thank you, sir. So one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm just going to zoom it in just a hair to show this off a little closer. We've got in the web interface here in camera settings, there is you can have all your pan, tilt, and zoom and focus speeds, obviously. You can control all of your image settings, which is all in here. And then you have your tracking area. And this is the tab where you can turn auto tracking on and off. Now, we do have the ability to have a time delay. And so if you're like a one-man band and you're doing everything yourself, when you turn on auto tracking, if you want to give yourself 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 20 seconds before the auto tracking initiates, you can do that with this. But the big new feature here is we have the ability to track now. And so we also have the ability to track at any of these presets. So I'm going to show both of these options here. The first one is we're going to zoom it into tests, and we're going to hit the track now option. And what that's going to do is it's going to track Tess because she's in the screen. She's the person we have here. And let's zoom out just a hair before we start. And I'm going to hit so track now, hit apply, and boom, auto tracking starts. And it is now tracking Tess.
All right,
So
Tess.
it didn't call a PTZ preset. It just tracked Tess because she was the first person on screen. Now, do you want to turn your microphone on so you're totally wireless?
Da, 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 da.
Wireless.
All right.
See if Paul
Give us a fit check.
steals it from me, or Lindsay.
Where's your fit from? Tell the people.
From Newly.
Oh, nice. So
Twirl.
the cool thing is here, and Tess, try going behind me. I want to see if you can go all the way behind me.
Okay.
You can see it zooming in on her. It's trying to keep her in frame. Even when she walks behind me, I can't believe that. You haven't done bunny ears on me in it feels
Years.
for forever.
I
But
know,
now
it's
you
been
can.
Too long.
Now that we have auto tracking. Now, what's going to be interesting, and I know a lot of our customers are using auto tracking. I can't wait for Mike to start using auto tracking more and just say, hey, go ahead, Tess. Like, go for a walk, go for a stroll.
Why not?
Like, walk anywhere you got to walk. Go ahead and walk. Now, let's go back to the web interface. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn auto tracking off. Okay. Boom.
Good show.
Tracking is off. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is this time we're going to track Lindsay. And what we're going to do is we're going to set a preset on you, Lindsay. Okay. So clearly you are the person in the frame here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set preset 1. Okay, so preset 1 is set here. So now, when I hit track, the starting location is preset 1. So I'm going to zoom out and go somewhere completely different. Okay. Now, when I hit start auto tracking, it's going to go to preset 1.
There you are.
And it's going to track you.
Go ahead.
I don't have a microphone.
Okay, you don't have a
It's all right.
microphone, so
We
don't
can
give
verbalize for you.
don't give us a long speech while you're walking since you don't have a mic.
Strolling along the Amalfi Coast, looking for an alcohol spritz, living my mother's dreams in Mykonos.
Lindsay's talking about being in Greece with a spritz in hand, if you're wondering what she's saying.
So the auto tracking obviously works quite well. And so that was what we were showing here is the ability to auto track from a specific position. And we give you guys a lot of options for this. We've got the option for zooming into up to 17 locations. And you can see it works really well. Lindsay's moving around quite quickly here. Even doing it a somersault. And it works.
I was curious about that. How would it take being upside down for a moment there and it just comes back to you when you're done? It did good. Now we're getting a whole gymnast.
It works.
Interesting. Then now I know. Thank you, Lindsay.
Good job.
Well done.
All right, so there's the web interface once again. That's the big change here is the ability to track now, track from the home position, or any of these preset options that we have. So that's a big deal, you know. So if you have multiple people that you're presenting on stage, you can set up presets for them, have the camera automatically go and track them at those positions. So great job with the auto tracking demo. The other thing that you can do, by the way, I still wanted to show one more thing here. All right, so this is what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn auto tracking back on. It's going to, what did I do? Okay, hold on. Auto tracking on. I guess, okay, so it is auto tracking you, Lindsay. So what I'm going to do is I have the ability to change to Tess just by clicking a button. So you do have the ability, so you can barely see that I'm doing this maybe, but I can actually toggle between Tess and Lindsay with
Which
this
button?
IR remote. So you can click the left and right arrow keys on the IR remote.
Oh, wow.
You guys are sitting so closely together that it's only moving a couple degrees, but you can very quickly and easily. And the cool thing about the Move SE is it's got an IR remote receiver on the front and the back. So you can just boop, hit a button and it'll switch between without showing any boxes or anything like that on the camera. So good job, engineers. You guys did a great job building in a lot of the feature requests that we received from the Move 4K into the Move SE. And if you're wondering, yes, all of this is coming to the, and more is coming into the Move 4K. The Move 4K is actually capable of quite a lot more than the Move SE is. But there you go. It's got really great tracking capabilities. My favorite is the ability to start tracking immediately. From wherever the camera is. So whatever it's following, or whoever's on the camera, boom, go ahead and track them right away. So with that being said, guys, the final thing is who is actually going to use this camera? Who is this camera for?
Hopefully everyone.
And, I have a quick presentation on that, and I know everybody wants to get to the giveaway, so I'm not going to go crazy on this PowerPoint, but essentially we have, and you guys, if you're interested in getting this PowerPoint, you can email partners@PTZOptics.com. One of our Blender engineers, he's a 3D engineer, put together these beautiful diagrams going from simple to complex.
Yeah, Brian.
Good, better, best. So this is simple house of worship. Okay, now we're adding a joystick. Okay, now we've got a smartphone. Now we've got a second camera. Whoa, this house of worship has 3 cameras. They've got a presentation PC. And this is something that, our team is happy to help you talk through. What are the, if you want to get to a 3-camera system and you want Pro Presenter or if you're a house of worship, should you use OBS? Should you use vMix? Which joystick should you connect with? We're happy to help you in a broadcast scenario. Good, better, best. There's a lot of stuff here. Maybe adding tally lights so that you know which camera to look at in a studio environment. In education, you can see we got that simple track light there. Really is one of the best auto tracking cameras for education, showing different scenarios. In business, kind of like us here, setting up maybe a simple system or maybe something a little bit more complicated. Again, government is a big one here. We work a lot with government agencies and courtrooms that are going to like this. Healthcare, especially, very popular in healthcare. Tess worked with a lot of healthcare clients over the years. I don't know what it is. It's just you really attract the nurses and doctors.
I guess so. It's that one photo shoot we did. Lindsay, you're next.
I did that one.
I know you did. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Oh, you're saying
Because
they're
you
going
did one too. They're going to come for you.
Yeah, because Tess originally dressed up in scrubs and did the original telehealth.
And then Lindsay did.
Our pictures are very similar. I saw them the other day where yours was like, I don't know, like lower in the Google Drive.
Yeah.
And I saw mine. I was like, whoa.
So similar.
Yeah. You at first glance, I don't think you would tell us apart, honestly.
You guys might have even been the same age when those
Maybe.
pictures were taken.
We might have been.
Because Tess was your age when she started.
Yeah. I was younger.
Yeah. It's been a long time, Tess. All right. So
Time
with
to
that
rock
being
and roll.
said, it is time to go Q&A, giveaway, and
play.
play. Good job. Great job, Mike. Shout out to our producer. He did a great job.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike. We need a camera in there so Mike can say hello if he
I was
doesn't
just
have one.
thinking that.
I know. Let us know in the chat if you think we should have a camera in the production
Absolutely.
room.
What's the mini
production
track
studio.
4K?
Yeah.
That's what should be.
We've got a lot of questions, Paul.
All right. Well, let's
Should
try
I
to go
go
through them.
back?
I see Andy, our lead support technician, in there answering questions, so he might have helped us a little there.
Should I go back to, I mean, we've been getting them the whole time.
Well,
How to get the new interface for the old cameras?
that will not be possible. The new Move 4K, Move SE cameras have new processors in them that are capable of the newer, more advanced interface. What is good though is that we still support the PTZOptics Gen 2 cameras. They're still under warranty. They will still receive firmware updates for some time, and they are fully compatible with the PTZOptics CMP software. So that might be a good chance for me to show that software again here. If we add cameras into the CMP, this is, by the way, one of the easiest ways to add Gen 2 cameras with auto tracking. So there's 13 cameras in here. I'm only going to choose one, but I'm going to actually choose the 20x NDI G2 in the back. And this camera right here, we can add auto tracking to this camera. So if I go ahead and add auto tracking to this camera, this is the PTZOptics Move. Looks like it's got you there, Tess. You can see Tess's the little dots on her. I don't know why it chose you. I guess it just chose you because maybe I'll stand up there. But essentially, this is the auto tracking feature in the PTZOptics CMP.
Whoa.
So this is how you're going to track if you have a G2 camera and you want to do auto tracking. So it is possible now to have your G2 cameras auto track.
Now, I
Wild.
may need to click. And then that is essentially how the auto tracking works with the PTZOptics CMP. But you can also add all of the PTZ controls as well.
So many questions. Might need another stream for Q&A.
Well, keep them coming. Let me know. What is it?
What are some limits?
The pan tilt limits?
What are some
What
limits,
kind of
or
limits?
warnings to best use the auto tracking feature? How does the feature determine the difference in the object?
So we don't have like blocking zones with the Move SE camera. So you can't set like,
Yeah, and I think our next live stream is going to be all about auto tracking cameras because the HuddleCam HD Simple Track cameras do have blocking zones and a lot more control over the zoom and things of that nature. So we're going to show the differences between dual sensor auto tracking cameras and single sensor auto tracking cameras. It's a big topic, requires a decent amount of time to review, but we pretty much showed off what the Move SE is capable of, which is auto tracking, not being, and it also features what we call presenter lock. So it will lock on to the presenter of your choice and not be confused with the other people that might be in the same frame. But it handles a lot of the pan tilting and zooming automatically as you would want, but it doesn't have a lot of the composition features for framing the person exactly how you'd like. those are features we are working on and we hope to implement with firmware updates.
So can it track at a fixed zoom distance?
Not currently. It is something that we are looking into. Now, the Simple Track Lite and the Simple Track Tube can. They can be set to a fixed zoom distance. So if that is a feature, a must-have feature for you, check out the Simple Track 2.
Got it.
With the custom buttons on the SuperJoy, can you queue graphics onto a live stream?
Yes, you can. So and now that would depend on the video production software that you're using. If you're using vMix, I know they have a great API that works perfectly with the SuperJoy that we've shown off in a couple different videos. It's an HTTP command that you would put in there. And the new feature on the custom buttons is the ability to do the toggle. So you do have the option of toggling on and off. So you might have click once to fade the graphic on, click again to remove the graphic, for example.
Okay. Ken wants to know, is there a way to put cameras into standby over IP instead of using the remote to turn the camera off and on?
I believe so. And if you go into, I might be wrong, but first of all, I will say that it is totally fine to leave these cameras on 24/7. These are professional cameras. They can be left on 24/7, and they have a 5-year warranty, and it's okay to leave them on all the time. There's a standby button on the IR remote. I thought I saw a standby button on the latest firmware, but maybe I'm wrong. So I'm not seeing it right now. So maybe there is not a standby mode. If I'm wrong, maybe someone in the chat could let us know. But I think there is no need to put it in standby. For most cases, it's okay to leave them on. They don't overheat. They've got a great heat sinking system. It's okay to...
Unlike a DSLR.
If you're using a DSLR camera, you might want to look into the overheating issues that can happen if you leave them on all the time. But no, these cameras can be left on all the time.
Should that be our new marketing tactic? We just totally lie and start saying that DSLRs just blow up. We could have Brian make
I don't know how far from the
blender.
truth that is.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
if they're overheating, it might be interesting to see if you could cook an egg on it.
Right?
There you go, Brian. Next blender project. Cooking an egg on a melting DSLR camera.
Chad wants to know, I know you mentioned the HTTP API is still intact. Does it support an API key yet?
I haven't heard anything about that, so my gut reaction is probably not yet.
Not yet. Oh, Chad just said, "Ooh, I saw HTTPS certificate, hidden win."
Yes, there is an HTTPS certificate that you can use that creates the secure connection, and also which is required for MIDI control of these cameras. If you're using MIDI control, was one of the main reasons why we implemented that.
Lake Cam TV wants to know the power requirements for 4K and SE models.
That's a great question. So the Move SE is standard power over Ethernet. The Move 4K is PoE plus, power over Ethernet plus. Although when you look at the data sheet and look at the power consumption, it's not much. It is something you need to think about when you are putting multiple PoE devices on a network switch. They can only power so much. There's a power budget for the PoE network switch. And this PoE is, for the Move SE, is 802.3 AF. The power consumption is a max of 2 amps. I thought there was a little bit more about that on the wattage somewhere here on the data sheet, but I'm not seeing it. Let me take a look at
We are?
All right. I think we're
Oh.
streaming again. Ay, ay, ay. All right. So just
We are.
We are
just
streaming
announced
again.
our winner, Michael Quaid.
Michael Quaid.
Are we back? Oh,
We
we're
are
back.
We're back live.
We're back.
We're
All right. So Michael Quaid won. I know he was here, right, Tess? There he is.
Michael Quaid, my first thought is a studio show where the guest moves around a lot. Okay.
Great. Well, good for you. I think you're really going to enjoy it. I'm glad you're here because we did want to try to give the person who was here the camera.
Sign language.
Sorry about that.
So
We
sorry about the
had a
stream
big
going
crash
down.
over here.
That was not expected.
Comcast Wi-Fi.
We're not operating over Wi-Fi, but nonetheless, things happen. It's a shame because it was a great show and so many of you were here. And some people are signing back on. So welcome back. Too many squirrels in the area. That's it. We're not exactly sure what happened, but
Too many squirrels.
the stream died, but we brought it back to life.
We're back.
Good morning, Lindsay. Good morning to you, Grace Place Church.
Congratulations, Michael, for winning a Move SE. We just did the giveaway.
Must be the heat and the humidity. Perhaps
it
there
is-
is a heat wave out there right now.
Yeah.
Is there really?
Stinking hot over here in
How
PA.
hot is it out there?
Like 90 and
90 something.
the humidity was like 80% or something like that today. It's crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
The live show was recorded and will be available on demand on YouTube.
The first thing to do, Chad said, is to find someone to blame. We must assign the blame. We're going to blame...
That's Paul.
all
That's
right,
Paul's
we're going to go
job.
ahead and blame me because I
No,
I
I didn't
was...
blame you. I mean, you'll find the person.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to find someone to blame. I need to go and find someone to blame. I'll be right back.
Michael, run. Okay.
No, but that'll do it for this show. Thank you so much, everybody,
Thanks
for
everybody
joining.
who stuck around.
Yeah, thank you for those who
Appreciate it.
stuck around for us. We're back up.
We're going to blame Ralph Clark in the chat.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, it was Ralph.
I'll take the blame. That's funny.
All right.
We'll be in
Great
touch
job.
via email, Michael.
Alrighty.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around. And we
Blame
will see
Canada.
you the last Wednesday of August. I believe it's August 30th or August 31st. So we'll see you then.
Comment, like, subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Turn on the post notification. Follow us on social media. All that good stuff.
And
Ciao.
that's all, folks.
Bye.